What's up guys, this is Will from Strive, and today we're going to be talking about 5 different jump exercises to build a complete basketball player. Now notice I didn't say to build the best dunker, because in the game of basketball, a lot of the things depend on not only just vertical jumping, but being able to move in the frontal plane or side to side, as well as being able to rotate properly or in the transverse plane. And today we're going to show you 5 different exercises, which is not only going to allow you to prevent injury, but it's going to allow you to have a quicker, faster, explosive first step, as well as to be able to get high above the rim. So our first type of jump is called the non-counter movement jump. And that's basically taking what we call the stretch shortening cycle out of the equation. Without going into too much science, basically in order to jump, I need to load in order to explode. But if I start in a semi-squat position, that's basically not allowing me to use too much tendon and not being able to allow me to use too much spring, which is also, there's a lot of merit into that. But when I work on my non-counter movement jump, I also want to focus a lot on absorbing force, because if you think about when players actually get hurt, it's never when they take off, but rather when they land. So I want my players to be able to absorb force and be able to have a healthy, long season. My next exercise is the box jump. And the box jump is imperative, especially when teaching people how to land correctly. So I utilize a box that's not very high, and I want to really focus on landing mechanics. So I usually pick a box that might only be at knee height just to start off with. So I get the athlete to load up, jump as high as they can, even if it's far higher than the box, land softly in the middle of the box and absorb that force. Now what I'm looking for is a nice straight back. Okay, I'm looking for the knees to go slightly forward, their butt to go back, okay, and them to be in a strong position. What I'm really looking out for is their ability to land slightly with their knees straight forward rather than their knees caved in, okay? While there is times where I don't mind them landing with their knees caved in, I really want to use the box jump to utilize this time to really be able to correct their landing mechanics without too much impact on their joints. The third exercise is StepUp Jump. And StepUp Jump is a great option to overload one leg. And it's also a great way to work on unilateral or single leg jumping, which a lot of people prefer than bilateral jumping, although both must be worked on. So in the StepUp Jump, I really want to focus an 80-20 ratio. 80% of the weight is going to be on my front leg. I want to explode up as high as I can, come down, land with the same leg onto the box, reset, and then explode up back again. Again, this is a great way to build strength and power in a single leg fashion in order to make sure that when I go up for a layup, my legs are properly strong and powerful in order to allow me to finish over defenders. The next variation of a jump is a jump. And basically what a jump means, it's a hybrid of jumping off 2 and landing on 1, or vice versa. So I could jump off 1 and land on 2, and it's a hybrid of having a unilateral to a bilateral relationship. So I utilize this in a 3-dimensional fashion, because this is often what you're going to see in things like slide shuffles when you're playing defense, or if I'm going to open up and pivot or open step and stay with a defender. These are often things that I'm going to see. As well as if I go up and land awkwardly on a finish, I've got to be able to protect my joints, protect my ligaments and tendons to be able to make sure that I come up and I'm okay and I can run back on defense. So the fourth one is a jump. The last jump exercise that I'm going to choose today is transition bound. So that's basically being able to utilize horizontal force and transitioning it into a vertical force, which sounds a lot like a layup, sounds a lot like a dunk, sounds a lot like a lot of times rebounding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump as far as I can to one direction off one leg, and then immediately upon landing on the other leg, I'm going to jump up as high as I can. So I'm utilizing this horizontal force and immediately translating it into a vertical force.